New season, who dis? We get our first
Oh
Raw
boy.
in Hell. First of many. Jax B. Jackson. We thought he was cured. He's not. Sandoval finds the audacity, and Saucy may finally do some butt stuff.
Mm-hmm. Now, you say finally.
Strong.
Is that something you've been waiting on?
Well, not me personally, but the way she frames it is that she's never done it. So feels like now it's time. But
I didn't know if
Vamp,
that was a secret wish for this year, this
no,
coming year, now that we're in a new one for you. Okay.
that's right. So, Vanderpump Rules Season 6, Episode 1, Masquerade. Hello, everyone. This is But I'll Take a Pinot Grigio podcast. I'm Sunday pop culture professor and expert on all things regretting I ever found Jax attractive.
I am Jeff, the former noob, very staunch on my Jax stance from jump, and it kind of whatever I thought I would see in the past, here it is, pretty much right here. So one more season,
So
and I'm fired up.
they're coming out of the gate real strong. They're starting off
Yeah.
with this faith stuff. And they even start out. But I do want to say this too about Jax and his particular heel turn in season from 5 to 6. So I know he's always been a bad guy, but there was always some
What?
sort of humor to we could laugh at him. We weren't really laughing with him, but like there was like this sort of a numbnuts quality to his actions, but it is turning the corner in this season, perhaps with the help of substance or the
Mm-hmm.
popularity or the acuteness of his sociopathy or something, but he is really turning into someone that it's hard to even laugh at him or take him as a joke. Like, especially knowing what we know about him in the current day, that it feels really insidious. His presence feels insidious.
Okay, well, I won't go over previous instances in the last 5 years before this where it may have seemed insidious before, because we don't have time.
Well,
But
yes, I know, but
we'll
there just seems like
we differ. We
it's
differ.
worsening. It's worsening this season, and it's getting to a point where it's almost like, yikes. Does somebody need to intervene 10 years ago, of course, but we
Yeah, there is
start
some
out.
substance stuff I have.
Oh, for sure. At Sheena's party, which it's a masquerade ball, the titular masquerade here. And last we saw these folks, they were all at the reunion, but now DJ James Kennedy is spinning at the party. Sheena's hard launching Rob. And then, of course, as always, shit goes sideways and we get the first Raw in Hell from
Yeah.
Brittany. So I was wondering what I was doing. I remember now
Is this a new thing too, by the way? I know we're gonna have a new
yes.
intro, but like where they show something at the end and then have like a Tarantino style, like, well, this is how we got here scenario. Is that something that continues in this
I don't
season,
know.
or okay?
It kind of feels like they're playing around with the editing
And
too a little
I
bit.
like it if it is. Yeah.
I noticed it where Ariana's talking about her haircut and she's like, yeah, Tom's going to whack off to my haircut, cut to him shaking. Like,
Oh.
yeah. So they're playing around with the whimsy a little bit. But the reason I tripped up just now is I'm about to talk about the new intro, but I started it with a newly shorn Jax behind the bar. And I'm like, I don't understand what I mean by that. But he has a shaved head this season. That's what I mean by that. And they got Brittany in her Cerniform here, and they put Stassi in frame. So it's Brittany, Jax, and Stassi in frame. He's behind the bar. Then we have Tom, Ariana, both of them still behind the bar. Sheena all uniformed up as well. And then we have Katie and Tom.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say this, but I think that they may have given Katie an amended version of that Sir uniform. It's not fitting like I've seen it do previously, and maybe they had to cut it differently or something for her, because it doesn't look like what we understand the Sir uniform to be. And then they put Lala, James, and Kristen. James in the DJ booth, and then Kristen with the drink in her hand, no Carter, and then Lala, and it looks like what is a plastic dress. And then
I think she's making some fondue also.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's neat.
Well, has Lisa always picked up her drink, or has that always been the purse throw? I can't remember if season 5 was when she was walking out picking up her drink, or if it was the purse throw.
She's throwing her purse in 5. Yeah.
Okay, well, then we have a new Lisa intro with a
Right.
new
And
she
it's,
loves a menswear version of something.
I was going to ask you, like, at the end of last year, if we were getting a new Lisa uniform. And I was like, well, I'm just going to, we had the epaulette thing happen last year. And, like, there's something trending with her all the time. And so I was actually just wanting to see. And this is like an even glitzier one than last year. Like, last year was a step. This is like, yeah, man, they're glamming it
Yeah.
up.
The show is really sort of cementing its place in the pop culture mainstream, like, vernacular here. And Obama mentioned some version or some season of Vanderpump Rules in his speech at the press correspondence dinner at some point.
Hmm.
So the show is obviously part of this, culture here. And I think that they're really riding that high on in 5, but now especially in 6. Production's looking better. They're all moving around, whatever. But when we start, we go 2 days earlier. So we're not going to just pick right back up with Sheena's. We have to go back a little bit. And we got a little bit of a real worker alert here, which is the
Yeah,
opposite of what
just
I wished for.
that's what I had. I was like, work, work, work. Just what Cindy was wanting here.
Yeah, I love it because we know they're pretending. We know this especially too because the way that Katie and Sheena interact, you can tell they have not been at that fucking restaurant. They have not
Right.
been together. They have not been on the same shift. So you can tell that it's like, oh, we're starting to film on Monday. Well, I guess I better clock in at Sir on Monday. And it's just, please, please stop trying to fool us. Okay, everybody.
You know
And,
who is
but
not faking their way at work at Sir is Lisa. Did you see what she was doing when she came in? Stealing fries out the window.
oh,
That's what the awesome hot girls is, steal fries out the window. So
yeah. Well,
that's
then,
some real stuff right there.
yeah, that is solved then. We know that real work does go on there. It's flourishing. Sir is flourishing. It's never been better, Jeff. Never been better. But Jax and Brittany have been together for 2 years. They are better since Kentucky. So you guys go back and listen to our Kentucky, Jax and Brittany Take Kentucky coverage. We'll talk all about it. But this is after they spent the however long there. And Jeff loves it whenever the castmates say things like, things are going great. Things are awesome. But he immediately
Well,
follows it up with finally
some
getting off
big.
the couch.
It's always with Sienna though. I mean, you're just gonna get that. Everything's great. You're just in a real good place.
Yeah. Well, Jax's perception of everything good is, I guess, his girlfriend got too fat. So now they're finally getting her up off the couch, getting to the gym, and not keeping Postmates in business.
Yeah, you asked me after the Kentucky one, is it harder to watch Jax be a, horrible piece of shit in West Hollywood, or watch him be a horrible piece of shit? It was something you said like that in Kentucky in front of her family. And I just don't, comparing ooze on a concrete ground to ooze in a cow field is kind of, it's still ooze. It's either
Well,
way.
I have not quite got through the last like 2.5 episodes of Jackson, Brittany Tech, Kentucky. So maybe I don't have the full context of what
Mm,
he's doing here, but Sheena also such a good place. Oh, this relationship is so good. He really brings positive energy. And they flash to this picture, and it looks like Rob looks like a guy who worked in Circuit City in the 90s who was like trying to sell
mm.
you an IBM or something.
Oh yeah.
Like he's just got this weird hairline and a collar on it. And
I was gonna
this,
say that. The burgundy polo, I could see that on Rob.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Yes.
And so Sheena, for real, will tell a story to make everything seem better because whenever her and Shay were together, remember they've been knowing each other since high school. They've been together and they were high school sweethearts. And
Yeah.
now when she's with Rob, they dated on and off between 2006 and 2010. He was the last person she slept with before Shay. He was the
Yeah.
first person. So, yes, you in the front.
I have a question. Considering when we first met Sheena as a country on this in a different show, there was an issue going on with her and somebody else. She's going to skip over that one, I guess. We're just not going to mention
Yeah.
when she slept with that person and involved in this, because she just went Shay Rob to Shay to Rob. But I believe right in the middle there was somebody rhymes with Teddy or
Yeah.
something like that she slept with.
Eddie. I'm
Yeah,
not afraid to say his name. Eddie Cibrian.
I'm
She
not.
fucked a married Eddie Cibrian, everyone. Well, his wife was at home with their children. Okay. I'm not afraid to say it. But she's not really waiting for that divorce to be final before she gets out there slanging it around. It's just a piece of paper. She just
Nah,
needs it.
man.
It needs to be done. She's got it. So, speaking of pieces of paper, LVP and Tom are waiting for some final approval for Tom Tom. And we get a little bit of insight here. She's just not giving this to them, right? She's not like gifting a share of it. She's asking for a buy in of $100,000 each. Is that a lot or no?
I mean, it depends what they're looking for in return. That depends. I mean, the return on investment in restaurants can go so many different ways I know of. I mean, it sounds like she's going to build this and she's going to make it happen. It's up to them
Yeah.
if they want to be a part of it or not. Like, I think this restaurant's opening, like regardless.
Yeah.
The
But does it
200,000 from these two bozos isn't going to affect it one way or the other. To me,
okay,
even opening a restaurant, $100,000 is a significant part. West Hollywood
right.
for Lisa Vanderpump, I don't think so.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask some follow-up questions too, because we see them walk around and we see sort of her expectations for the kind of build out that she's trying to do. So the investment that she's expecting from them doesn't have anything to do with the initial spend. It has to do with the return on the other side.
Well, I just mean, is it a lot for like what they would be looking to do? No, I mean, it would be in the initial part, but
I
100,
mean,
I
I know
think,
it's a lot for the Toms.
yeah, I think 200,000 though for them, that's a lot. She's putting in this, like a whole lot more. And so, yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's
That's kind
great
of
that
what I was asking.
I think it's just very nice, but I love the gesture of, I'm going to need a little something, like get your shit, see if you can get your ducks in a row, give me 100 grand, and then we'll move on. I think it's it's like they're just buying, their little stake, which I would imagine
Yeah.
after year one, you can buy in more. After year five, you can buy in more. That's usually how that would work.
Because that's what I was trying to get a sense of too, because proportionally, 200 grand is not a lot. But to these two jabronis, that is a lot. And so I think this is what is kind of informing Tom Sandoval's tantrums about it, because his perception is that we're about to give all of this money. So we better have all of this say in it. And Lisa's like, you guys drop one drop in
Yeah.
this bucket, calm it down. And so that thing, because I was trying to because I understood it from like maybe the Tom side of it, but I was trying to figure out how much 200,000 was. But anyway, Ariana has a new haircut and Sandoval loves it. He whacks off to it. So
Yep. She looks great, and that image ruined it immediately.
yeah, I mean, feel sorry for her vagina, I guess is what she says. Sheena and Katie, I mentioned this just a few minutes ago, but they're still beefing. But now that
Hmm.
Katie has added something else, apparently there was an exchange about a comparison about friendships, and it got back to Katie that Sheena said that she has no friends, which is not far from the truth. She has two, right? Like Katie has two friends, Stassi and Kristen. And I mean, if you want to talk about time investment, I guess Stassi could account for more than one friend, but truthfully, quantity, she has two. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she has friends. Like during the wedding, other people popped up. You were asking about. It's like those are friends. They're just not involved with this. So she has other friends. But what the fuck is Sheena talking about? Like this is kindergarten. Like this is how many friends I have, and this is how many friends this person has. That
Well,
seems like a very shitty place to start in this whole thing.
well,
Like,
the
and then
way
she sent me
Sheena
a weird
framed
text. Like,
it,
well, yeah.
no, the way Sheena framed it though is that she said something and it got misconstrued back to Katie, and Katie's
Oh,
immediate
okay.
reaction is because she says that she meant
Rage
it as a
text.
joke. Right. Sheena says, I meant it as a joke, as a compliment, and Katie took it as an insult. So we don't really know what it was. But and then Katie's immediate reaction is to always take Sheena, the other side than Sheena's, and then send her rage text about how she's not going to rage text.
I love that.
So
And I love it. I mean, I hate what's about to happen though. They get the disinvite. Very
That's
weird.
wild. But we saw, like, Katie does admit to bullying Sheena in one of those texts and then immediately calls her pathetic. Like, okay. But yes, this whole idea is to go out of your way to make sure that Katie knows she's disinvited and then to go out of her way to invite Schwartz via text later. I don't know what Sheena's goal here is. Okay. Cause the way she's saying is that, like, I don't give a fuck about being friends with them. Okay. So is your goal then, is your narrative arc of season 6 going to be adversarial on you against these witches? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what is that what her plan is? Because it's a strong start in episode 1.
Yeah, and you better come with some serious guns because Katie's been doing lots of stuff. I think, has been time traveling. She looks like she got caught making out at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance from Back to the Future. She's arming up with a
That's a deep cut.
serious
Thank you
Stassi.
for
Has other
clarifying.
folks
I don't know
in her
if
corner.
just the Enchantment Under the Sea, unless you started playing Johnny Be Good, because that couldn't be a standalone reference. But
That like
um,
weird pink, it was kind of off to the side, like somebody just opened up a broom closet and she was in there and
mhm.
it was 1955. Yeah, that's what I thought.
But I get our listeners get onto me, maybe not so much you, but me about my Katie hate. But like I can't help it. She does shit like this, and it's like, Katie, come on. I want to root for you. Of the women
Right.
on this show, you seem to be the most level headed. You seem to be the most kind of in control and regulated of the sort. But then you're doing this kind of shit. Like, come on, man. Help me out here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a true. I think this has just had to be going more and more often. And, like sometimes I don't know if I'm really coming for Katie on some of this stuff or if she just got thrown into this thing because just reality TV was so not a thing in 2012 when these kids who were trying to be actors, you're like, now you're on reality TV. Well, not like it is just a few years later, I wouldn't think. Well, I mean, they just didn't go out to Hollywood with a chance of being on reality TV as a goal. They may
That
have
wasn't
wanted
their
to be an
first choice.
actor and read scripts. Right. So it's
Yeah.
not this. So, I mean, it's been a few years now. This is season 6 and she is doing the same stuff. But, sometimes I think it is like they're playing catch up still. Like
And
they're still
I
learning.
re- and I remember whenever Jax and Schwartz would say mean things to her about, oh, you're just Stassi's puppet and oh, you're just sliding back into old behavior. I was like, that's so reductive. No, she is. You can see it. Like her and Stassi are like morphing into one, except Stassi's head is what is driving it. And so she's just being consumed like a twin in the womb. And Stassi gets to tell what this Hydra is doing. And I don't like it because Stassi inherently is not a happy person in these seasons right here. She's not. I mean, I'm just telling you flat out. She was not in season 5. It's shaping up. If whatever the scenes from the season come up, we're going to have another breakup, Stassi. Like, jeez, I can't
I know.
handle it. I can't
Well,
handle it.
you want to go out to Colorado with Tom and Tom then and hang out? Just
For
chill
a
out
quote
for a little while?
research trip.
Yeah. I
Yeah, that's
wonder,
my kind
like,
of research.
yeah, I was trying to go out there where they were doing things that are legal there to try and tell me how to do them illegally here, and they wouldn't do that.
I know.
Like, yeah, I don't
What?
know. Like,
They can't change legislation? What the hell? But this is the beginning of his tantrum too, where he's just gonna throw his name on it. Sir, take what you get. Like and that they're gonna have no creative control and that Lisa and Ken are just gonna run roughshod all over them. And this whole idea that they're gonna do it with or without him is really repugnant to Sandoval. I don't get it. Why? What audacity did you have for breakfast this morning?
that's exactly right. Like, you have a fucking problem with it. Also, it's not a problem yet. You're acting like it's a problem. You're just envisioning this. Why don't you go
Yeah.
talk to them about it if it's such an issue? Don't talk shit about them in their own restaurant. Or go find another guy who's willing to open up a brand new bar, put your name on it for $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
Just see how that goes.
And Ken and Lisa sitting within earshot and them acting like that she was hiding, trying to eavesdrop on them is
Oh
so
yeah,
insulting. Like, this woman
plenty.
is not a hider, Like, she's not crouching in the bushes. And just stop talking so loud about it. Stop having a tantrum in the floor of the restaurant that this woman owns when you know she was there, even though he says she thought she left. But still, I'm like, you're not playing this right, Tom. Not in any way, shape, or form.
No, why don't you just finish cashing out? You'll be home in 30 minutes and talk about the whole thing then.
Exactly. Talk about it in the car on the way home, idiot.
Yeah.
And it's a made up problem at this point. It is it
Right.
is borrowed trouble, as my mother used to say.
We do
I
get to
did
one of your
relate to
favorite topics here, though, with Stassi. I love you get a little.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I absolutely do relate to Stassi in this way, in which she doesn't have with the AC. I too, born and raised in the South, and the idea of no AC. I mean, you might as well ask me to chop my pinky finger off. Like, what? I'm going. No, my house will not have AC in it. Like, absolutely not. Like that. There is no way. There's no way I'm living in a situation. Of course, our weather is a little bit different than hers, but she gets Katie over there to help her undo it and blah, 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 blah. I don't know how much assembly a floor AC needs, but apparently she needs Katie. And they are conspiring to be an asshole via text. Whether they do it or not, or whether they're kidding, this whole exchange was like, you want me to text Sheena and be like, can I go? Do you want me to text Sheena? And like, that's just mean. It's not flattering, and it makes you seem small. And we're having another season of this. I thought we had kind of come around a little bit.
Nah, you're the one being too hopeful. And just because the floor AC doesn't require much work doesn't mean she's going to do it. She's still going to get, and Katie had not been told. Katie wasn't told, like, hey, come
No.
over here and then give me a hand and then we'll go get a drink. She was told, let's go out. She shows up like in black, kind of ready to go to a nice place. And it's like, why don't you get on your knees and get out that instruction booklet real quick? Well, I'm going to make us some drinks and then we'll get on.
She does it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. She does
Yes.
listen.
I
Yeah.
mean, and I was hoping that their meanness or their clickiness could evolve into a much more sophisticated way, but they're really like regressing. You know, they're backsliding into old stuff that we've already seen, that we've already litigated. Up your game. If y'all are going to be the villain of the season, if you're going to be the self-proclaimed mean girls, the witches or whatever, then up your game. Give us something new to watch. Give me some texture, because this whole song and dance business is wearing thin. But her and Patrick are back together.
I was going to say there's some new stuff going on, some new old
Well,
stuff.
new old stuff, right? Nobody is happy about this. Katie's like not happy. Jax isn't happy. Schwartz is not happy. Nobody's hyped that they're back together. I don't even think Patrick's
Katie,
hype.
no, I don't. I'm looking forward to meeting. I want to meet this dude. I want to see a 3D version of this guy. And I
Yeah.
think Katie is already looking forward, has settled in where she is on marriage. Like she's been around it 70 years already. She's already talking about dying with this dude. I mean, it was like just a few months
Yeah.
ago that they were on a honeymoon with a third wheel and letting that go. And now it's like, look, we're going to be happy. We're just going to go sit on our couch and eat Malamars until we die together. And that's what marriage is.
Yeah. I mean, it's their final destination. But
Yeah.
my very favorite podcast that I listen to, The Reality Gaze, they talk about the characteristics of a really good reality show personality. And they were talking about in reference to how the suburban wives do not have it. And it's like, for it to be a really successful cast member, you have to be completely self-unaware. Like there can't be any calculation to your motives or to the way you're acting. Everything has to seem like it's authentic. And we're getting to a point now where none of that happens. James is still holding on to it just a little bit, right? That sort of carelessness about what people think and cultivating himself. Jax, I think now that Brittany's around, he's got a much higher awareness of, how he's going to be received. But all these people are so polished. They're like reality TV pros, like you were saying a few minutes ago. And so if y'all aren't going to deliver that kind of stuff, I need you to deliver in other ways. And Stassi promising off-screen butt stuff is not going to do it for me.
Well, did you want to use butt stuff as your segue into these two coming up? Because I was just going to let you take this James and Logan thing if you wanted.
But no, it was on the next page. I didn't even know I was coming. And I guess I need to say I may be a little grouchy today. I came in, I was really hyped to watch the show, and then I just got grouchy about it. And so now everything is poo poo boo boo. And so sorry if I am la poo poo and everything, just bear with me. Just yes and me today, Jeff. But yeah, speaking of
Yes,
butt
ma'am.
stuff, James, James and Logan, and I like how James framed it. Obviously, he likes men. Well, it
Duh.
wasn't obvious until
Nope.
you said it. I don't know anything about this man. I met him 1 second ago, right? We don't know him, do we?
Were you more surprised with him saying, obviously he's into guys and obviously I'm into all the girls? And you were like, I believe half of
Well,
that. I don't know.
I don't want to be the kind who is like, oh, he's obviously gay, but I think
No,
there
I'm
may be some
I'm
friends
only going.
benefits.
Yes,
No,
I
I'm
don't really even
co-signing
think
though.
that. I'm just going with your
I
I'm just
do.
going with what I was told here.
And so even if it isn't full penetration, I think Logan may at least be crushing on James in some way. The
Oh
disappointment
yeah.
on his face when Raquel walked in the door is not a purely platonic reaction to when your quote best mate's girlfriend comes home.
No, this was kind of like, you remember we just watched the old 5 Star Weekend and you have like the young person friend and then like the college age friend, and those people are clashing. Like, this is what we see here. We see like the summer friend for James and like the fall friend for James is
Oh,
coming in, and, and summer friend is like
well,
very sad to see fall friend come in,
yes.
but
Well, you're
would probably
using
join in.
friend. I'm using sexual partner. So, like, apples, to apples here. Tomato, tomato here. Then the next one, we go to the TomTom site, and I am
Yeah.
proud of these boys because they did not remark on how rough it looked. Because it looked rough, but neither one of them acted taken aback. So maybe they had seen it before. Maybe they toured it. But
That's pretty
Tom's got
normal.
some.
I mean, it's not that bad looking, really. If there's, I mean, who
They
knows
don't
when they're
know
supposed
that.
to be open? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know that though. Like Tom remarks that Sandoval has the softest hands ever, right? Like get down from the ladder, you're going to hurt your moisturized hands. But Tom has a vision. Did you jot down any of Tom's vision?
Oh, yeah, I did. He wants some comfortability in there, some
Mhm.
familiarity. No overpouring is good. He's watching the numbers there. I like a sexy TV. Absolutely.
Yeah, he wants a
I think
nostalgia.
some girl named Nostalgia is going to be working there. I don't know her. I don't know if we meet her this season or not.
Yeah. So Schwartz, it's like they swapped bodies or something a little bit because Schwartz is like,
I, s-
listen, man, I love that.
I
He's like, I
s-
love the enthusiasm. But Sandoval can get really hype and hyper focused about some of the wrong details. And this is, hand jiggering a crafted cocktail is not where we're at in this journey just yet, my dear.
well, also that didn't stand out to me as much as him telling Schwartz is 1 foot out the door at best already.
Hmm.
Like, I don't even know if he said yes officially. I mean, even the reunion people are giving him shit about it. It's like, I don't know, seems like a lot. And Sandoval's gonna tell him, like, oh, hey, man, by the way, our future boss, the person who's only asking us for a fraction of the cost, like, that's gonna let us be a part of this. I might have been like really evil shit talking her just last night, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell you instead of not telling you and then denying it completely to her and just bowing down to her. I'm gonna tell you and then like confront her about it hardcore.
So interesting that you use the phrase evil shit talking because the way Sandoval characterizes it is speaking openly and candidly. That Lisa Eve was eavesdropping on him speaking openly and candidly about
Well,
it.
I thought we were alone. It's like, well,
Oh
you're
yeah.
inside her restaurant. You're in her building. You can't assume.
And maybe just don't talk shit about her until you know you're out of there. Okay. I won't belabor that, but and she comes in with a chip on her shoulder already. Like you can tell it's icy as hell. And the minute they started like pointing things around, she's like, there is a lot of work that that you don't know about already. And there is. I mean, obviously, just getting the
Absolutely.
site secured and it belonging to them, they can even start work is a arduous process. And so the audacity monster that is Tom Sandoval is in there just talking about, "Well, are you kidding me? You're gonna put the kitchen where? You're going to what? What? Where? Where does this man get it? Like,
Oh, I
what?
thought
Who?
with those wheres, I thought you were going to ask, like where would the patio go? Is it going to be outside? Lisa is just like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Like, how did I work
Yeah.
so hard to get here and then hand it over to these schmoes? What was I thinking?
And what is so ridiculous is that Lisa, she tells the confessional, I don't know if she said it to them, but like, this is 33 restaurants. This is,
Right.
40 years, 35 years of being in business. And these Toms don't know what they don't know. And for them to come in there and that, because that's a dangerous kind to have a tiny little bit of knowledge about something and then to come in and wield it around.
Yes.
That's on my nerves too. And I'm surprised that Ken stood there and let Tom Sandoval talk to her that way when she was talking about that you purposely listened and that you were hiding in the bush. Can't believe that Ken had that, would let that stand. Maybe he's losing momentum in his old age.
When Ken was telling him about the kitchen, Tom gave him "Are you fucking kidding me?" I thought he was about
Yes.
to knock the spark out of him right there.
I was trying to reach for that phrase and I couldn't figure it out. I was like, sprint, sprank, sprock,
That's why
what?
we're teammates.
Yeah. But maybe there's some Franken editing going on here, like some Franken biting to where they are mismatching reactions to things because it just seems so incongruous with what we know about Ken and Lisa. And
Well,
she even downplays it. It's like, we're rethinking this whole thing.
yeah.
Like,
She says that
I
in
mean,
confession, right? Like not to them. She says
oh,
that
does she?
in I
Oh,
think
I
I
don't know. I think
think.
she yeah. No, I think she says it out loud to him because Sandoval repeats it to Ariana later.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think Ken and Lisa are going into this believing all of this is real at this point.
Uh-huh.
Like, look, let's make them give us $100,000 a piece, right? That's nothing. I mean, this woman gets seasonal Porsche. So yeah, she's going to ask for $100,000 because that's nothing. And then I guarantee you, when they're having breakfast that day, before they go and Ken's getting all the dogs dressed, he's like, they are talking like, we're going to give, like, let's go in with some, ease. Like if they're going to say some bullshit, they're going to spout off, but like, let's be gentle. Let's not come at them right away. And they're making it really hard for them to act any other way.
Okay. So the flip flop of that, if that was the conversation that Lisa and Ken had at breakfast, what was the conversation that Tom and Tom had at breakfast that morning?
Hey, you remember that time in Colorado when I stuffed a snowball down my pants and forgot about it? And then I passed out and you thought I had peed myself, but it was cool because it was just a snowball anyway.
Okay.
But you and Jax actually didn't see it because y'all were just in the bathroom for 2.5 hours for some reason. Some combination of all that.
Snowing all around.
That's right.
Snowing for
Lift
everybody.
tickets needed inside and out.
Yeah. So we go from there, and I don't know. It is going through. We know Tom exists, so we're gonna put a pin in that. So we go from there to Jackson Brittany's new apartment, and we learned that they moved down the hall from Schwartz and
Right.
Katie at the reunion, right? So there, Brittany's getting ready, and she says, "We had a rough couple of months. He's got multiple personalities, and it's hard to know who he really is." Yes, Brittany, sociopaths are very hard to get
Hmm.
to know because he adapts whoever's in the room, he adapts inauthentically, okay? And he uses that adaptation to manipulate and then to exploit, and then he gives different versions of the truth. And the thing about it is, he's done this all along, but the stakes were not as high. He has moved this girl across the country. She doesn't have any family. From the way he talks, she doesn't have her own money. She's talking about marrying this man and having children with this man. And now his dark passenger has just completely body snatched him. It's so scary. And I want to know because she said, "All right, no more mess ups. No more mess ups, okay?" I want to know what happened. And maybe it's the Jackson Brittany take Kentucky for her to say that. Because remember last year, well, I'll get back to that, but like, what
It
dictated this combo?
it will have some stuff to do with Kentucky, sure, but he doesn't do anything there we haven't seen him do before. Like I don't think it is hard
Okay.
to know who Jax is. Like, does he treat people shitty? Yes. Does he seem to actually give a fuck if he treats somebody shitty? No. Will he treat somebody shitty and just lie to their face and then try to get something out of them later? Absolutely. So I don't know if it's like all of a sudden something's taken him up.
Mm,
Like they've had
I
their
mean,
ups and downs.
well, they've
But
only
I
been
will say,
together 2
check out some
years, though.
when you get back to me when you finish our Take
Okay.
Kentucky time.
But
Also,
um, but it just
I'll let
seems
y'all know.
like
By the way, y'all hit me up at jeff@pinopod.com. I'll send you the
uh
text.
but it just seems like she is reacting to something that maybe we're not privy to. So I'll get back to that. So then lots of talk about how long these folks have been together, right? Lots of talk about years and the quantity of the relationships because Ariana and Sandoval, they're together 3 years and they just, decided it's time to buy a credenza. That's what children
Yeah,
do. But let's take a break right here. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about Ariana and Sandoval's credenza. Not a euphemism.
yet. Oh, all right.
It's credenza time. Sexy talk, always. That new haircut's got everybody horny for it. They rehash the idea that she's eavesdropping and there's supposed to be a private conversation between 2 partners. Then go home and have it in private, you dummies. Like, what are you doing?
Also, it's like, well, Lisa really wasn't happy, and it's like, well, then you probably shouldn't have cussed her out in her own spot right
Yeah.
afterwards about it.
And
Also,
questioned every single solitary choice she made, undermined their entire operation here. Be cool, dude. Usually, it is Sandoval who is kind of trying to democratize the situation, like make sure everybody gets heard and make sure everybody has like a voice in it and stuff. That's kind of his fatal flaw. Not here. He wanted to be the only voice in the room, and he is crying to Ariana about it.
at least you
And
got your answer though about why he's been in that apartment the whole time. Like,
this rent
you got a
control,
rent
yeah.
controlled spot in a major metropolitan area. You're gonna be likely to hold on to it.
I would die to know what rent they were paying because we're in
Yeah.
2017, and I know what I was paying in 2017 in, our town, so I would die to know what they were paying when it was rent controlled.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so then we pop over to the Schwarties,
Yeah.
and
Schwartz wants to picking right back up where he leaves off. Like, I'm going to go to this party by myself. That's probably what my wife wants me to do. All right, man.
I've said this before on this podcast, I'm never gonna sit at a table that my wife is not invited to, much less invited and then disinvited to. Like, and then I get a
Straight up.
text after she's been disinvited inviting me and me say yes to. That is the wildest of all work. And Katie doesn't get mad too. She doesn't get mad about it, whether or not they had a private conversation about it, but she's trying to be real cool about it. Tequila Katie is in our
Yeah.
rear view. And so she's like, but Schwartz does say that he's scared of her, which I find that to be a very handy tactic in a partnership. Like, one should be a little afraid of the other at all
I'm not,
times.
this isn't shocking. I'm going to believe as we enter season 6, as much as hell as we gave the Bubbas and they gave us, I'm just going to believe things are fine with them. I really am. I'm going to say, you're fine. I know you don't want to be married to her, but I'm just going to say it's fine. And as soon as I think that, I'm like, it's not cool going to that party though, solo man. Like, that's
No,
not a good start
it's
to that.
really not. It is super wild work. And knowing what we know about what goes down at this party and Katie's at home, like
Mm-hmm.
doing her coloring books, no, I would never forgive Schwartz if he didn't get me into that party and all this shit went down. That'd be
Well,
divorce right there.
what if his
But
buddy moved in down the hall?
and just turns up unannounced. No,
Grabbing
that is
chicken?
my version. Yes, that is my version of like hell. That's my Vietnam. For somebody to come to my door and knock on my door without me knowing they're coming, I cannot. That is brutal. I will drop to the ground and freeze before I answer a door.
She's
Like,
not lying. I would not just pop over there at all. No. I think I was over on my way to your house one morning to drop something off, and I texted you, and I stayed in front of your house until you texted me back, and I was like, here already.
that's the right
But
move.
no,
That's
man,
the right move.
We're
And,
wondering what
you
it
know,
was like moving down the hall from Jack's or having him move down. And you just find out real quick. You just find out, right? I love when you
yeah,
just get all your questions answered in one little
yeah.
activity time.
He literally opens his front door, goes down a little bit, and then just opens theirs, and he's arrived. And they're all sitting around kikiing. He's got a beer in the hand, Miller. I guess they switched to
Hmm.
Miller Lite now. And
Yeah.
Stassi breaks the
Jack's with a
news.
beer.
Yeah, shocker. About Patrick, and this is where Jax is very diplomatic about the news, though, in his confessional. Like, oh yeah, I mean, I heard this and this and this. Doesn't seem great. So, speaking of somebody being afraid of somebody, he's still a little afraid of Stassi.
He's a lot afraid. Yeah. And a couple, we get a little shade on Sheena as well, of course. A couple
Always.
of them are together. We're going to get that. And something else we learned about Schwartz here, he's just good dropping a friend from time to time. Friends, look, man, we've got a lot of them. Every now and then one just goes away from the crowd. That's just, it happens,
So,
man.
sir, he says he means Katie. Listen, Katie, you can drop a friend in now and then. You got enough friends. Like, just let it go. It's fine. And he doesn't really mean them. He's really just using that we pronoun as a buffer because he'd be like, Katie,
Hmm.
you gotta let this shit go. Okay. People come in and out, like, not doing it. But also too, if I was getting those kind of texts from Katie too, I mean, like, I would have done told her to fuck off too.
Oh, absolutely.
Um, so we're at Sheena's house, and thank goodness she has de-shaded the whole place.
I know.
She took down
The
all
big
of those
pics.
insane wedding pictures.
If anyone out there has if those pictures got sold somewhere and those are around
On eBay.
somewhere, please, please get in touch. Jeff at pinopod.com. We need these for
Yeah.
our reality TV room we're going to build. This needs to
Mhm.
be one of those pictures needs to be above the Sandoval couch, and we go from there. I mean, that's
Yeah.
it.
Put that in our reality TV Hall of Fame. Just go right in there.
Yeah.
And this right here is a choice. She moved into the smaller nook of the bedroom and turned the primary bedroom into a closet.
Hmm.
That's a niche choice right there. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'd want to give up my space to exist for my clothes, but of course I would love a big closet, but it's a niche choice.
Yeah. Sheena's real happy. And you know what? That's kind of boring. I'm just going to
Yeah.
say it's kind of
Well,
boring with
don't
Sheena being real
worry.
happy. I know.
Don't worry, things will turn out this. I wrote Pat the D. I was abbreviating Pampered at the Disco, but it looks like Pat the D, so maybe that might be their new name. They're going to the Masquerade Ball, and of course, the costume that Tom Sandoval is wearing, it probably costs as much as my car payment every month. Like, they're going Masquerade, balls to the wall. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Do you get it?
She said
Yeah.
balls.
Yeah, to the wall, right? It's a pun. And this is where Sandoval just drops some big news, real casual like. They're just trying on their stuff. Like, yeah, man, my friend told me that Jackson Faith fucked.
Here we go.
What?
Here we go. Like, just out there. Listen to
And
me, flabbergasted.
yeah, well, and that they have been sleeping together.
Lots of times.
And
Yeah.
I also too, I would like to know why everybody thinks it's so far fetched.
Well, I mean, they're just
Why?
thinking, no, like they just don't want it to be true more, right? I mean, don't they just not?
Well,
Because
they're
they seem to all
probably
assume it's true. I feel like.
right. But it's probably unusual that Jax would fuck a black woman, is what I think the subtext is there. That because as what we know that this crowd, in terms of their ideologies and how they kind of like move through the world, that they're all fairly surprised that Jax had relations with a woman of color. So that's my assumption, allegedly. But
I don't.
never seen.
I see it as just more like they're really hoping, because they all assume it's true. I think their biggest shock is like they're just pissed that it finally
Well, I mean,
happened. They knew it was going to
yeah,
happen. Yeah.
yes, too. But everybody's at the party, including Faith, which It's very convenient.
Yeah, I just want to know, like, if you got time to put on full Victorian dress and you've got a secret that juicy, and you decide to tell me by the time like we're wrapping up getting dressed, like, nah, man, you need to drop that early on. We need to have a game plan. This is big news. I don't need to be told about this when I've got my little opera glasses with me to just go in
Right.
here and have a drink. I need to
Yes.
know.
And they drop it on us, the audience, and then immediately cut to Faith and her little entourage arriving. And I don't even know how to act. I'm like, well, are they
Yeah.
friends with her? Are they on bad terms? Have has she been hanging out? Like, what's the context? I'm nervous about what's going on. But Jackson James are buds. He wants to be his mentor. Jax wants to mentor James, take him right under his wing and tell him how to be a sociopath even more.
Yeah, that's cute. They're really buddies. It's Jack, James, a lot of cocaine. We love things in threes. We love trios, and those three look like they're getting along just fine right
Not
here.
scary. Not scary at all. No
No.
potential for any sort of damage to women or culture or, forward movement in terms of progression.
Also,
They
this is
all
the
kiki.
party Stassi should crash. Like Stassi and Katie should crash this party. Like, you can wear a mask. We got some big news about to come out. Like, this is the
Like
one.
nobody
It's
would
Sheena's
recognize them.
birthday. That would be hilarious. Yeah. Just put a wig and a mask on. You're ready to go, man.
Just skulking in the shadows, listening for some
Yeah.
shit. And Kristen, ever dropping the wisdom, Sheena's not looking for a boyfriend. She's looking for a husband. And no truer words have been said. No more succinct summary of a situation has ever been uttered than this right here, because immediately, and I said this in my predictions, didn't I? How we're going to watch Sheena just go full tilt for whatever
Absolutely.
man-shaped blob shows up in front of her. And so I just put a pin in that too. And the fact that he's already on camera too, sometimes I can feel a little skeptical about that, because they even sort of soft launched Brittany and Jackson. She's a full cast member now, so him just
Yeah.
being episode 1 full face. I got my eye on you, Rob. But Sandoval again tells somebody, I don't know if he's telling Schwartz about it, but he says, "Yes, Lisa overheard me speaking very candidly." No, you were ungratefully bitching. Say it like it was. You were throwing a tantrum.
I either missed that twice somehow, or I just heard it and was so overhearing it. It didn't even like register all the way in.
So stupid. How much do you think that mask weighs that Lisa has on? That should look heavy as hell.
Oh yeah, her dress probably is 300 pounds just to just to go have a drink with these fools.
Sheena immediately drags Rob over, show off her pony. Dance, monkey, dance.
Mm-hmm.
And, Lisa tries to keep her from looking real shitty right here, and Sheena won't bite. Because Sheena's immediately like so effusive. Oh, this is the only right thing that's ever felt this good. And I just knew, blah, blah, blah. And Lisa, always the producer, knows how Sheena's going to come off. She's like, but it meant something with Shay too. And like, let's don't throw it away. Right. Like, let's be a little more mindful about how we're presenting this. Sheena's like, fuck that motherfucker. This is the one. He's the one. Get on one knee, Rob, right now. Do it. I need it. We're getting married. Sheena,
Like
have some
last time,
chill.
she had butterflies about this guy, and like now this is happening. Like, yeah, it's a lot. It's a wild swing. What do you know?
Yeah. Slow down, Sheena. Slow
Mm-hmm.
down. And did I see this wrong? Did we see a scene before all the shit hit the fan with Faith talking to Jackson Brittany? Where she was just kind of chatting, saying hellos, being
I
very
didn't see
casual
that.
and
I
small
mean,
talky.
maybe like walking through. I don't know. I mean, we really see them post the weird Bubba's and Stassi trio that's hanging out, getting some dips. We had
Yeah.
Faith. Like we kind of first see it like because Sandoval grabs Jax, like you were saying about that other stuff, and he's
Yeah.
gonna ask
Well,
him about it. James grabs
so
Faith, and that's when we see
before
the two
that,
of
though,
them. Oh,
but before that, this is when Jax is talking to Brittany. Like Brittany overhears him talking about how he wants kids, and he's really ratcheting up the family talk and stuff.
oh,
And I
right,
thought he
yeah.
was doing it because Faith was standing in that little huddle right there.
I didn't
And
notice.
so
That's
he
fucking low down if he did though.
Yes, as I'm telling you, I'm telling you, it's getting worse. His pathology is getting worse by the minute. But yes, we do see the date night, the weirdest date night ever, and they're talking about Sheena. But did you notice that all the flashbacks are of Stassi screaming at Sheena? Your fucking mouth. You're such a narcissist. Like all of the textual evidence provided here is of Stassi being a bitch about it.
Yeah, that'll come up a lot. If you really if you look back at their catalog, that'll definitely come up.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so now we're at whenever Sandoval pulls Jax for a chat. There's a rumor going around, and they're bouncing back, like you said, they're bouncing back and forth between these two scenes. If I had never seen 1 minute of this show and didn't know anything about any of these people, Jax's face would have told me he was a big fat liar. Like, you could
Oh,
tell he's
hmm.
stunned, and he's had so much substance that he can't, like, really, like, recalibrate the moment, and he's like, no, no." And I was like, "This man did this shit. This man did this shit."
Yeah, you mentioned substance. I actually first thought it. I mean, maybe I just assumed with him more, but like when Faith and James are talking, Faith especially like seemed like real
Mhm.
cokey to me. Yeah,
Agree. I think all of them too, for sure.
and not that
Uh,
like just sped up. Like I'm just trying this. Like it's been going on, and I'm like my body's tired from doing this, and
yes,
it just
and,
has
like,
like
the alcohol and the Coke are fighting each other
yes,
at that point.
exactly.
Yeah. So I've heard.
It
But
it seems like a touch manufactured though, right? The way they're talking to these folks, like, does this seem a little fake? Because,
that
and I'm also keen, looking out for because like premiere, right? Like producer Lisa, but like you want something flashy, it can't just be like Sheena's dating again and everybody's getting along. Like, there's
boo.
exactly. And so I'm not saying he wouldn't do it or anything like that. I totally would believe
Right.
he did it. But it just
I
seems
think
when big things like happen this and nobody knows and it happens to be the premiere and it's at Sheena's party when shit always goes
so
down, you know.
yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, and this occurred to me too, and I think it is a combination of a couple of things. I think production probably already knew this was happening, however they find out about things, probably very much urged them to invite Faith, and then the editing is a little hinky in terms of how quickly it escalates and how everybody's having a good time dancing, cha-cha-cha-cha, whatever, fist bumping, and then immediately everybody's whispering about it. Lisa knows, and they're in two little factions, Brittany inside. The editing, I think, is doing a lot of the heavy lifting here in terms of
Hmm.
escalating the point here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the details of Faith
I,
and Jax's encounter?
I have here, help here, Sunday. I needed you because like Jax is denying it to Sandoval, obviously. And then Faith goes into her hooking up, which finishes with a surprise to her and everyone else.
This is such part of Vanderpump lore that, I mean, we have to say it out loud here. But if I had to guess, you know how Brittany stayed back from Kentucky, like, for a
We're
few
we're
days?
we're going past the 95-year-old woman who's in the next
Hold on,
room
I'm
also.
getting
We're
there.
just
Hold
gonna
on,
go.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Just stay with me. So Brittany stayed in Kentucky for a couple of days, and Jax was on his own. So he
Yep,
DMs her on Twitter, all time
correct.
low, and it's like, "Hey, I miss seeing you. You know, what's up?" And she's like, "Well, here I am. Come over." She is home health nursing for a 95-year-old woman who is completely out of it, and they have sex while the woman is in eye shot, and he sucks her toes and has already completed his leg of the race when he asks her about birth control because they did not have a condom, and now her period is late.
Hmm.
So, yeah. And Jax is like, "No, I'm in a great relationship now. I would never, sir, put that on your
And
tombstone."
and this is when we get the third. We have little Jesse talking up Brittany, telling her what's word around the campfire. And
Yeah.
wow.
And everybody's whispering. It just goes so fast. And Schwartz says that he doesn't know if it's true. Jax has not been up to his old tricks, like, low key Tinder profiles
Yeah.
and texting his side bitches. So cool, cool, cool. It's good to know that he's done it so many times. There's a baked in pattern. Love that. Love
Yes.
that these boys are covering for him too. Love it.
Go away, Schwartz. They don't want you at their girl dinner. We don't need you here at the party. You can go now.
And isn't it a funny, funny symmetry where whenever Jax goes over to Faith and he's standing over her and he was like, tell her we didn't. Are you serious? That is the exact thing that happened between him and Lala in front of Brittany last year.
I got that
Do
too.
you have
And
that too?
also, Jack's just like confronting Lala, and his voice is going up the same way. Like, are you serious
Mhm.
right now? Like, that's the
Yeah.
only time I hear him do that. Like, I mean, we
But
hear it a lot, so it does happen a lot. But like all that, like, oh, I mean, are you serious? You got to be kidding me right now. Like, it just kind of,
But notice, like, let's take note too of Brittany's reactions to both things. So Brittany's reaction to him possibly wanting to fuck Lala is stand by my man. No, Lala, just be cool, leave us alone, go away. And then her reaction to hearing that he maybe had fucked Faith is raw in hell. Something
yeah,
has happened that we
yeah,
aren't privy to just yet. And that has sort of like warned Brittany's stand by her man then.
yeah. She's coming in pissed off. Like, there was some off season stuff that's going on. And this is when it hits me at Sheena's birthday party, and I'm like, "Oh
Oh
fuck!
my god.
Somebody check on Sheena Shea right now!" And like Chris, this is when like Kristen first like gangles on the scene, and I'm like, "Oh man, maybe she's got Sheena news." And it's like, "Nope, we're not done with this yet. We're right in the thick of this."
Jangles on the scene. That's so rude.
This one, Brittany's already like, "That's true. I'm gonna drop kick him. I'm gonna drop kick her ass." She's ready to go drop kicking some folks here.
How the hell does Lisa know about it already? Has she heard about it before? Like, she's always like, oh, so the Twilight's on. Or is that also creative editing?
I think Schwartz went and told her.
But she acted like she already knew when he told her,
That's just
right? Like,
I think that's the editing thing. Yeah.
okay, yeah. And he goes over to Brittany. He knows, even if he did not sleep with this woman, he understands what is happening to her. And he's like, hey, Brittany, I seen you all night. What did I do? Acting like he just landed on this planet 2 minutes ago. And she's acting like she don't believe him.
Yeah.
She's just
And
like flat out. She's like, if this is true, y'all are both dead to me.
he is
And I
giving
just,
what I called a maniacal death stare,
yeah, it's like
maniacal
this.
denial death stare here. It's not the same. Like, they're always like, well, Jax does tell the truth when he hooks up with people. So they show that one clip of like him telling, like, actually it was twice, like, and he's real calm and his eyes are straight on, and his
Yeah.
shoulders are down. He's just twirling around a pole. When other times he is real up and he's staying up and his back is real tense and his voice is going up a little bit, and that's what's happening here. So
Mm-hmm.
not really believing this one as much.
Sheena is scrambling to go get in the middle of
Yes.
things. I mean to go check on Brittany. That's what I mean. She's like, I gotta find Brittany. Where's Brittany? Like, she is sprinting. She took her shoes off. Like, she is full on Flojo in there to get to Brittany because that's where the
Oh,
cameras are.
nice.
That's where the cameras are. Like, she got to get her face in there. Look at there. And so, why would he hook up with someone in their circle? That's so stupid. Why would he do that? Cut to him admitting that he fucked Kristen.
Right. Well, I mean,
And
why wouldn't he? Like, it always works out, right?
yeah, and like this whole thing with Brittany telling Jax to pull Faith over, knowing what we know about like later what happened, imagine how unsafe Faith must have felt in this moment. How she knows that she's being accused of something that she says she did, and she is surrounded by all these very territorial, very vindictive white women. And she does have the buffer, at least, of the camera, but I cannot imagine how unsafe she feels because when she gets out in the street and Kristen's like standing over her, gangling over her, as you say, and she's like, "All y'all can fuck off. Like, please leave me alone." Like, she needs to be elsewhere immediately because it is wildly unsafe for her to continue to be in that space right there. I can't imagine what would have happened if the cameras weren't there. Like, I can't imagine.
Well, that gets me on my manufactured thing too, because it is like maybe they can bring it to so close of, so intense, but then nothing really happens bad because that's what was supposed to happen. I'm believing
Yeah.
this, but I just mean it crossed my mind.
Well, I think that it is very, very highly produced, right? Because
Yeah.
I was just thinking, like, what are the chances of all this coming out in episode 1? But they know, the Vanderpump Rules plug knows just to give us a little taste for free, and then we'll keep coming back and
We'll
paying
be
more and
back.
more and more and more. But that's where we end it. Well, we see Brittany saying, "If I'm gonna take the dogs, I'm gonna move out, and you can rot in
Yeah.
hell." So we got another right there. So that's how we leave it there, and then we get this extra super duper long trailer of things that are happening last season. Next, I mean, all of Jeff, things that are happening
We see what's
throughout the
coming up on the
season.
rest of this season of
Thank you so
Vampire
much.
Diaries.
Yes. So I just made a very quick list. Lots and lots of dancing, naked and otherwise. Activities and recreations. There's some golf. There's some the lots of stuff. Pride. Jax loves a good hate fuck. LVP and Stassi reunite. Somebody's man made out with Lala's friend. LVP says the word skank. Yikes. There's smoke and fire in this crowd. Schwartz did something Katie didn't deserve. We see Patrick in time for him to break up with Stassi one more time. LVP wants 100% commitment from the Toms. The B-Day terrorist is back and she's on her high horse. Brittany tries to fight Jax in the kitchen. Someone has to learn their places, motherfuckers. James gets a drink thrown in his face and Jax throws a coke-fueled tantrum. So big season ahead. Big,
Yeah.
big season ahead.
I had fun drinking, drugging, cheating, lying, and it's my birthday.
That's right.
That's my
Much,
bullet
much
points then.
more succinct summary. Did you have a because the past? I had a
I
few.
had
We might have
two.
already touched on them. Okay.
Well, three now. I have three now. I had the
Okay.
Step Brothers reference they've done before, like Sheena
Which
moves her
one?
stuff around. The so much room for activities.
Oh, yeah.
That's that's big in that. And also Sheena had a landline phone. She had the portable cordless phone plugged in the back there.
I
And
missed it.
that was a nice touch. It's a phone you've definitely had and seen a million times before. And also at the beginning of this podcast, you said new season, who dis? And I'm saying that's also from the past.
Well, in that vein, I have Jack says bomb diggity when Brittany
Oh,
asks how
of course.
she looks. I also have because the past that you can't put THC in drinks legally. We know now that you can.
Thank
And
God.
the password to the party is 420.
Yeah. Yeah, bruh.
Remember when that was hilarious? Remember how funny it was? How 420 was so
Yeah. It
funny?
was way back in 2017. No, I don't know about that. But,
Remember? Yeah. So I mean, obviously we have the same chump. Yes.
well, I had trouble. So I thought we had so many things in threes. I had three passed. I've got three of each one of these. So maybe I'm doing gold,
Okay.
silver, bronze. I don't know.
Okay. Because I
Do
only
you want
have
to
two.
start?
I have two. No, I want you to start for real.
Okay. Well, my chump, I've also got Sandoval up front because I like him. I want him to get his shit together.
You the
I
bronze?
mean, is yeah, this is the bronze. Yeah, like is
Mhm.
Lisa Vanderpump going to make a place look comfortable? We don't need to be asking her that at her own building. We don't need to be doing that. You're better than that. You know this business stuff needs to happen. You can't do that. Also, Schwartz for the cover up bullshit. You're 35 years old. You just want to be out here lying on your buddies just so they can stay married for another 3 months or whatever the fuck. I mean, or like they're just cheating on people right and left and you just think that's fine. That's no good. Gold, Sheena, you're always outshined at your party. You're always made to be a clown at your party. And for that reason, you're the gold medal chump on this one. But
I
there's
cannot
more.
believe
Yourself?
your gold medal is not the same as my gold medal because my gold medal is obviously Jack's. Like Obviously, Jax. He had
He just
sex with
Jackson.
another woman next to a 95-year-old woman who needs in-house hospice care. I mean, that alone, aside from the betrayal and the infidelity of
Oh
it all,
man,
what did this poor woman do? Like, yeah. So that's the gold. The
I love that
silver,
you gave it to Jax and I didn't include him at all. That is a very happy moment for me. I love it.
yeah. Silver is Katie. The propensity for her to just like lose herself in Stassi's shadow is so concerning to me because she is an interesting person, but not when she's being absorbed by her bitchy twin. And then this might be controversial, but
Uh
mine
huh.
Hans is Ken. How dare you let this
Excuse me?
soft-handed moisturizer model talk to your
No,
wife this way? Okay? If you want to put the kitchen upstairs, you stand your ground, sir. Do not let this
that's
pampered at the
that.
disco, this P-tap. What did I say? What did I call
Now
him?
that could be. Let's see. It was Piat. What would you have? I'm going to assume what Ken said to Sandoval is best left on the cutting room floor. I'm going to say
Pat the
he
D.
snapped back him. Pat the D. Thank you for
Pat
Pat
the
the
D.
D. Should have been my LVP actually.
Uh-huh,
Um,
uh-huh.
what about your LVP?
Okay, so my LVP gold goes to Kristen. She did not instigate any drama. In fact, she was being real sort of like girl gang enforcer. I'm going to smash his balls inside his pants and walk straight up
Yeah.
to him. I was like, you motherfucker, how dare you? And even at one point, Jax was like, shut up, Kristen, because she was just going so hard at him. Hands down, she gets the gold. And this is disagreeable here, but the silver goes to Schwartz
Hmm.
because he was the only one who sort of took the temperature of the room in Tom Tom and is trying to kind of like keep things in a way that doesn't do so much damage. Like saying, "Are you fucking serious?" is not the play. And Schwartz, of the two of them, knew that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So he just keeps his head down and doesn't say anything and skates right on by like always. Good job,
well,
Schwartz.
well, he said it to us in the confessional. So, and then lastly is Tom Tom. This is going to eat up most of the season, just like Pump did. But we are going to get the benefit of having the Toms involved. But we are going to have to witness many tantrums by Sandoval, I imagine. And
Oh
if
yeah, I
it's in
haven't even
this
thought
state.
about that.
Yeah, if it's in this state right now, if it's this early days, there's a lot of content that we are going to have to get through to hopefully, which I don't know if we will or not, to see the grand opening and the end of the season. So, Tom Tom, you're really fucking with me in terms of my threshold for Tom and Tom.
All right. Well, my up top, I've got for the bronze, Stassi. She has
Okay.
potential to be like more queen than ever. Like if she plays it right, like she's been there, done that with a whole bunch of stuff. She doesn't necessarily got a man holding her down. She can concentrate on lording over folks. She's on okay ground with quite a few folks. She is in a relationship though. So if she wants her confidence to be based on that, she can. She sounds like she's ready to try new things. So I'm hoping big things for her. Next up, Ariana. Amazing. Top to bottom, the hair. You're killing it at work still. You've got a side project that you're working on. Looking,
Sir,
I mean, I'm
I
fired up for you.
object.
Okay.
I object. The rules of the LVP and Chump state we have to take it episode by episode. Everything that you just listed
This
for
whole
Ariana,
episode was amazing. T to B.
listen, all of those things you mentioned did not happen in this 45 minutes. They are all ongoing things that we've learned about. What? Speaking of standing around and not doing shit and keeping your head down, that was Ariana this episode. I object.
You didn't see her head in this one? Come on. That was big news. Big haircut, new looks.
So then the LVP is Ariana's haircut.
And for gold, I've got Sheena's birthday party because it's always full of
Yes.
tons of activities.
Damn, it
So while
delivers.
Sheena gets clowned on, it's because her birthday is so amazing, but it's not for the reasons she wants it to be. And I'm
Yeah.
all right with that.
Because Sheena's birthday also gave us the gold that is blonde-haired Katie saying, "You should be checking up for your girlfriend instead of that whore in there." Remember
Yeah.
that?
Then there was
Remember
the
that too?
fight. She got glass in her foot. I mean,
Oh,
Sheena's
yeah.
birthday is raring to go. I love it.
It's giving. So, yes. Speaking of giving, we mentioned it very briefly, but we are covering Double Lives of Suburban Wives. I have to really kind
They
of
do
seriously
more
that
receiving than giving, really.
God, gross.
Oh, sorry. We still recording?
But yes, they do. Don't Google it at work. And God, what else? What else do we cover, Jeff? Jesus, it was the more receiving that just derailed me. What else do we cover?
That's it right now. We're done with Big B's. We're going to have a
Okay.
crossover this week. We're
Oh,
going to be covering a couple. We'll cover Jackson Brittany.
yes, and
We
then
just got
Housewives
done with
Girls
House of
Trip.
Stassi. Yeah.
Yeah, and the girls
And
trip that, and then the Housewives Corner. So there's a chunk of Housewives content that we get to, but yeah, that's where we're at right now.
we'll probably talk some Love is Blind later this week. So put that in the
Yes.
title so we get those clips. Love is Blind. I'm just going to say it a bunch and see if that
Yeah,
gets us.
Love is Blind. And I also would like to say we're getting a lot more listeners on Apple. So hello to all of our Apple joiners. I would please ask you to review us, rate us in some way, because that kind of helps us get into the algorithms of more people. So if you're listening on Apple right now, stop. Thank you for hanging in, but stop. Go ahead and hit that follow button, hit the review button. And if you want to write, just be like, I like receiving over giving, whatever you need to put in the box, but do that. And so, but welcome to a lot of the new viewers there,
We're
and
open.
find us on, not viewers, but listeners, but find us on the TikToks, the
Both.
Instagrams, the YouTubes at Take a Pinot Pod, wherever you get your social media.
Thanks, everybody. JeffApinoPod.com.